So, after almost 2 months of living in Banff, after weeks of preparation and stress, we are finally at Mount Assiniboine Provincial Park. Mount Assiniboine is like one of the most picturesque and most coveted places in the Canadian Rockies. So it's actually right next to Banff. The border of BC and Alberta runs between the two. And there's actually only 2 ways you can get to the park, and neither of them is driving. You either have to hike, or you can pay to get a helicopter in. And as you can probably guess from the footage, we took the helicopter to get here. So this park is usually completely booked out. There is a lodge here, and you can stay at the lodge. The lodge has huts, and there's also a whole heap of campgrounds around. But they book out months in advance, including the lodge. And this year we actually missed out on booking anything. In fact, I don't think we thought to book anything in the first place. But then COVID happened, and they cancelled a whole bunch of people's bookings. And then BC Parks came out and said that once they do open their provincial parks, that only BC residents would be able to use them. And so that was a big letdown, because we had been planning on booking up to that point. And then they must have gotten quite a bit of backlash, because the only way you can get into Mount Assiniboine is by coming through Alberta. So BC opened up Assiniboine to both BC and Alberta residents to go camping. Pretty sure anyone can go to the lodge. As soon as that was announced, we got on there and we managed to book one night at Og Lake Campground, which is about 5 kilometers away from the lodge and this central area with all the lakes. And then we got another night at Magog. The names are all quite weird here. And Magog is right on a lake, right down here around Mount Assiniboine and the other peaks. But getting off the helicopter, we've been informed that because of an error with the booking system, there's actually very few people at Magog tonight anyway. And we've been told if we would like to, we can stay there instead of going up to Og Lake, it's pretty good. It's going to be a much nicer place. The views over at Og looked good, but I think this is just going to be that much better. So pretty much we have Lake Magog for 2 nights, and that's our plan. We're going to fit some day hikes around that. Now unfortunately, after our second night here, we pretty much get up, and instead of taking a helicopter, because it is like $180 per person, we're hiking out back to where we parked at the helipad. So that's going to be just about a 26 to 28 kilometer day, and I hope we're prepared for it. Right now we're still trying to look for the campground. That's Lake Magog behind me, but we're struggling a little bit, but hopefully I've got some news now. Well, we found the campsite and we just had a bit of lunch a bit further down in the cooking area, and we've just been setting up our tents. And the best part about all of this, even though we're at the most popular campground in Assiniboine, we're the only people here, because even the lodge doesn't open. It's the 26th today, which is the first day that Assiniboine is open, and I don't think the lodge opens until the 30th. So I think we're just going to have to enjoy this place by ourselves, which is pretty good. So this is our first actual day camping in Banff. We did do some camping at Abraham Lake a few weeks back, but we did sleep in the car, so it doesn't really count. It's the first time using our tent. Got it all set up here. It still looks messy. Sleeping bags. Got these insulated sleeping mats, and our tent is only $20. Over here is Dan and Taya's tent. Dan and Taya didn't have any of their own stuff, and they're leaving Banff to go back to the UK on... When are you leaving? On the 1st?
Yeah.
On the 1st. So they rented all their camping gear. They got backpacks, tent, sleeping mats, sleeping bags, and a cooking set, except their cooking set, each set is incomplete and neither has cutlery. There's only one cup, so I guess they'll be sharing our cutlery.
I don't know, what is it? For your nuts? What?
Have you checked the stove? Is that all there?
Yeah.
It's not in with the stove at all. You could scoop with this.
Yeah, you did actually.
Oh god.
Yeah, I wouldn't go back into the slush.
Yeah, just here.
I'd
Yeah,
go.
you need to because doors here.
Isn't that, where
That's
do you
what
want
you
the door,
want.
Tom?
Oh, okay.
I thought facing out that way.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a few hours later now. A worker from the lodge came and she did confirm that we are probably the only campers out in Assiniboine, which is kind of nice. Feels a bit exclusive having this very popular place to ourselves. We did have to move our tent though because they're closing off tent pads that are too close to each other, and we were right next to each other, so we had to move up to a higher one. But it's still nice. It's a good view. And then we had a bit of a walk to see what Wonder Pass was like, because that was one way we could get out of here, heading back to the helipad. But we had heard that it was quite snowy, and we went up, we saw a waterfall, and yes, it was quite snowy. I had my gaiters on though, so I was able to trudge through, although Kate's feet are quite wet now. But right now, it's dinner time, which I'm very excited for, and we've found the cooking shelter, and we're going to have, hopefully, a very tasty dinner. So I've made 2 dinners for all of us to have. Tonight is a Thanksgiving blend. I got it off of different camping websites that said it was a decent enough meal. So this is my serving. Probably get pouches of turkey instead. This is looks good.
Oh, it smells like capsule too.
I did think it was.
This is a blend
You
of
sure it's not?
mashed potato powder,
Oh, I should probably do this
turkey
with grain.
stuffing, cranberries, and powdered gravy.
Do all of them at once.
And we'll mix that in with some hot water plus turkey. I'm excited.
Can I have your...
I don't know. Sure. Does everyone else feel excited about this?
Yes.
Good. Alright. Kate's cooked hers up. She's got a gluten-free one.
Didn't I?
And you're enjoying it?
I am, it's pretty good.
Okay. The tuna did look like... Not tuna. I keep calling it tuna because it looks like cat food. The turkey looks like cat food. And this
Okay.
looks very mushy.
Well, do you
But
wanna
it
put-
tastes good.
Should I
Tell us everything about it.
It's smooth and creamy with the occasional chunk of meat.
There's marmot that's sitting underneath us.
It's got a sweetness, the cranberries.
Yeah, like a sharp tang.
I'm excited. Done well.
too.
That was so easy to cook as well.
Yeah.
That was like literally 2 minutes and it was done.
We're all full now. I am, well, I'd say I'm surprised how tasty that was. But who doesn't like a roast and mashed potatoes and everything? So even if it is all mixed together in a bit of a slurry, it's still going to taste good. There was also a little marmot that kept popping his head out from underneath the shelter. Seemed kind of curious. I first noticed him because while I was waiting for the water to boil, I saw him come up the stairs behind us, but he quickly changed his mind. So we are going to get up early tomorrow morning and try for sunrise. It was meant to be partly cloudy today, but as you can see, it's a bit sadder than that. I don't think there's going to be a sunset, but the plan is to get into our warm clothes, just relax for a little bit. I might go out, take some photos down at the lake before bedtime, and then try and get a nice sleep before we're up really, really early. So the rain's come in, which we were hoping wasn't going to happen until tomorrow. I guess that's just one of the risks when a place is so popular that you just have to take any day you can possibly get. So no sunset tonight. It's just about sunset right now, 9:30, and it is cloudier and gloomier than ever. So instead, we've just had some hot chocolates and we are about to get into bed, and I'm gonna at least get 6 hours sleep, and then I'll be up tomorrow morning at 4 to go to the Nublet, one of those. And with that, good night. It's currently about 20 past 5. Sunrise should be in about 6 minutes over there somewhere. I don't think we're going to get it. This morning was meant to be the clearest of the mornings. Well, of our two. Sunday is meant to be just a complete write-off. So we thought we'd come up. I think this is the Niblet. I'm not sure. The view is nice, and maybe I'll attempt to set up a time lapse, but I think this rain's really going to do us in. It still looks nice though. So sunrise was cloudy all the way. I got 3 panoramas and then we made our way back down. It was still nice, but on the way down, which took about 45 minutes, the sun finally came out and we can finally at last see the top of the mountain. So I came back, I set up a time lapse just out there where Dan was, and now I am going to get some breakfast and some coffee. And then today we don't have massive plans. We are going to go for a hike around the lakes that you would have seen this morning. I think it's Cerulean and Sunburst Peak. That whole thing's only about 10 kilometers, so I'm not sure what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Hopefully it's take more photos, but we'll see what Kate says about that. So I haven't updated you since sunrise yesterday. Since the sun actually came out and we saw Mount Assiniboine. Just a brief recap. So we did a hike around the lakes here. There was Sunburst, Cerulean, Elizabeth, and then we hiked up to the Niblet and then the Nublet. So those are the two main viewpoints or crests before you reach Nub Peak, but we didn't feel like doing that. And then we came back down and we actually got into bed to have a nap just as it started raining. So that was really good timing by us. Then after a bit of a rest, I went down and I took some photos at the lake shore and around, and I think I got some nice ones. It was very overcast, so there wasn't any spectacular light, but I think with the right kind of editing they could be quite nice photos. Then dinner last night was my own recipe of dehydrated chili mac, and it was pretty good. Everyone enjoyed it, including me of course, but I knew I was always going to like it. And then we just had some hot drinks and sat around for a bit before coming straight back to bed. And we managed to get in before sunset actually happened, not that you could see anything. Now this morning, Kate's just out fetching breakfast, which is very nice of her. As you can see, it snowed overnight, so no wonder I was a bit chilly. It looks beautiful. Unfortunately, there are no views of the mountains right now, but the landscape looks great, and today all we have to do is hike out of here. So this is going to be the 26 kilometers, add on a little bit to get from the trailhead back to the car. It'll be a long day. I mean, I'm sure there's many people out there who hike a lot more than that. This is probably going to be the longest that we've hiked in a single day. So we're just preparing ourselves for that. But for now, just some breakfast, get us warmed up a bit, and then we have to pack up the tent. It's snowy, but at least it's not wet.
Made it.
Made it.
Oh, God, last quarter. I've never been so angry in my life. What am I doing?
You guys must have been at least like 500 metres ahead of me at some point.
I think Dan was, but then Taya and I were spaced out equally between.
Yeah.
I just got to the point where I was like, I just want this to be over. Like, I know we should really go like get to the car together, but I was just like, I just want it to be over.
You've already had your O. Henry?
I know.
Jeez, how long have you been here?
Like 6 minutes. At one point, I thought you'd gone back to the car park. I thought you were like, just come pick me up.
Oh.
So that was 8 hours 15 to 8.5 hours to do about 28 kilometres.
We have to add it up still.
That's good.
Around that.
Started at 7:30 and now we are back at the car at 4 o'clock. And ever since we started this morning, it's been overcast, which has been lovely because I hate getting sweaty. And now, already prepared for us in the fridge, cold, are some drinks. Chocolate milk for me. Oh, I think there was a disagreement who had watermelon and who hated orange.
I had the watermelon, thanks.
I hated orange.
What?
Well,
I'll have the orange.
Just put them
You'll
down
drink
there
everything.
for you. So some drinks, and because I knew I would appreciate it. I have my Ugg boots and a fresh pair of socks. I'm gonna enjoy putting those on.
Very cold, is it?
All in all though,
You really have to.
Assiniboine was very good. I would put it up there with the likes of Moraine Lake, Pado Lake, in terms of mountain and lake goodness.
Harder to get to.
Hard, yes. That makes it that much more exclusive. Okay, what did you think of Assiniboine?
It's all good and expected.
Alright, cool.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Well worth it.
Oh, yep.
I honestly thought it was amazing. We'd do it again, but maybe not today.
Helicopter both ways?
Yeah.
Stay in the lodge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great adventure.
Okay. Did you prepare that?
No!
No, okay.
You got a bit of thinking time.
Oh. It was a very good adventure. Bit too rainy for my liking.
No, it was alright.
It's alright. I didn't mind the snow.
We had sun yesterday.
Yesterday was okay. After the cloudy sunrise. Yeah. Well,
Oh, yesterday.
off to McDonald's then. For a little treat. Alright.
I need to go to the toilet. Oh.
No, you say that right as I turn the camera on.
Rewind.
Like,
Oh, that's way too
here's
close.
our plate.
Thanks. It's gonna hurt my hips.
Motherfucker!
We made it.